talking about one guy that's going to be on Payback, Chris Jericho.
Y2J.
Just Chris Jericho in his late years of the game. The guy been in the business, over 20 years, and he's still going strong. Klitschko, 41 years old. Jericho, he's in his mid to late 40s.
I think he's probably like 47.
And Jericho is still going strong. That's the difference between the wrestling business and every other sport, like MMA and all these other sports. Chris Jericho, a guy that's still up, there.
46.
46 years old, and he's still working at such a high level. I got to give him a lot of credit. Chris Jericho's a good friend of mine. Chris Jericho's one of the guys that was pretty much one of my arch nemesis along my route through WCW.
I gotta say, he told, if y'all haven't heard it, go back in the archives on this show, find where we had Chris Jericho on, because he tells the story about when you fell off the hoverboard.
Yeah.
And he does it to to
Yeah, I did. I didn't take a bump. You know what I mean? I didn't fall.
Okay? He didn't fall.
Get that straight, man.
He took a bump.
It's something different between taking a bump and falling. I didn't fall.
But that time is when the batteries
went dead, and when the battery go dead, it locks up, and boom, I took a little bump. You know what I mean? Falling is when you lose your balance or something like that. I don't lose my balance. I got great balance. My knee is hurting right now a little bit, but I got great balance normally. Normally I got great balance.
So do you think though this is the best run of Chris Jericho's career?
Well, I don't think it's the best run, but to finish your career the way Jericho is finishing his career. It's only something every professional wrestler wishes he could actually go out there and do, because it takes a multitude of things to actually play out for something like that to happen for you. First and foremost, how healthy you are. And as we get older, your body breaks down a little bit. What kind of shape you're in as far as cardio wise, how long can you go? Can you go out there and give me, Chris, can you go out there and give me 30 tonight? You know what I mean? And Chris goes, yeah, I can go out and give you 30. I can give you a little bit more. For a guy to actually be able to step up to that platform, to be able to blend in with the young guys on the roster right now, such as Kevin Owens, Sheamus, Roman Reigns, and, guys like that. It takes, being a chameleon, you got to know how to change your spots. You know what I mean? You got to know how to blend in to the atmosphere, you know what I mean, as far as what's going on, the layout of the land, you know what I mean? And I think that's what Chris Jericho has done, as well as Chris Jericho, this run right now, he's almost like the carpenter, a guy that's literally on the job training, teaching these young guys what it takes to go out there and be a star for many, many years to come. That's what Jericho has done over these last, couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, this run, though, he's been able to, I think, connect with the audience from a different perspective, and he's been able to, like the scarf, and getting the scarf over, or getting the list over.
Yeah.
And do you think, though, him working with Kevin Owens for that long run where they were kind of best friends and now they've been the bitter enemies, do you think this has been good for Kevin Owens to sit under the learning tree of a Chris Jericho, even though Kevin Owens has been in the business over a decade?
Definitely. I think it's great for Kevin Owens to just hang around and get the rub. We always talk about getting the rub in the business. And for me, a guy that's, been on the outside looking in like a Kevin Owens for so many years, and then get a chance to come to the big show, not just come to the big show, but win the big goal, and then to get a chance to hang around and, work with some of the biggest stars that ever been in the business.
Goldberg, Jericho.
Yeah, that right there, it means it's that feather in your cap. It's that one thing that's saying that I've arrived. I did this. It's been an awesome deal so far, and there's so much more to come. But for me, when I got in and, get the rub from, Ricky Steamboat was, that was a stamp of approval. To get the rub from, Nature Boy Ric Flair, that was guys like, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig.
Yeah. I saw a match of yours the other day with Macho Man.
Yeah, you did, man. I mean, stuff like that, working with guys like that. That's that stamp of approval, letting you know, man, I did it. I made it. So I know it did a whole lot for the career of Kevin Owens, but for Chris Jericho to go out there and, give so much to that young man, it goes to show you what kind of person Chris Jericho is more than anything.
Yeah, and so I think this is going to be a good match. I mean, this could be another one that could be one of the matches of the night just from a technical aspect. So I think it's going to be good. What do you think, though, about Alexa Bliss?
Bliss takes over the room when she walks in. It's amazing how something that small in such a small package can, be like dynamite. I'm talking about C4. You know what I mean? That can just blow up the whole building. That's what Alexa Bliss is. She comes in and she puts herself out there, and she's willing to, take it. The crowd can go out there and give her everything that they can give, and she will sit there and take it. But she won't just take it; she's going to throw something back right at him and make him go, "Wow, this little one right here." You tend to want to cheer for Alexa Bliss just because she is something truly special. She really is.
I mean, when she went out there on this last Raw and they started doing the What tour.
Yeah.
She figured out how to get around it, and she said, if you think Alexa Bliss is the best, say what, and then the crowd whats, and then they stop. Yeah, she commands it. Yeah. In my opinion, especially from the girls, it's her and Charlotte who's the better on the mic.
I'm gonna tell you,
it's one or the other.
That chant right there, Alexa Bliss is the best. Say what? That's gonna be the biggest thing in the company within the next 6 months.
Oh, you think every time they water, she's gonna do that?
No, she's gonna go out there and demand it, and they're gonna say it.
That'd be good stuff.
That's what's gonna happen. That's what I see happening with that right there. She's definitely, new breed of today. The young wrestler, the young female wrestler now are totally different from the young female wrestler of yesterday. Now they go out there and talk it, but then Alexa Bliss, she goes out there and perform in the ring at a very high level as well. Her psychology, for someone who's, been in it for such a short time, is right on point. She's definitely putting herself in position to be on that level of Charlotte and the rest of them here in the near future, really, really soon. I'm looking forward to it. Hey, guys, we're going to be back in a minute. We're going to talk some more Payback. But we got to talk about that boy McGregor. We got to talk about Mayweather. I heard some news. Back in a minute.